Hey there, Tracy Noriega, paying it forward to you on this Mindful Monday. How you doing? Have you ever thought of, well, your chores being something that could be an exercise in mindfulness? Hmm. Yes, it is actually something that you can use some mindfulness for. How so? Well, I remember, I don't know if you ever had this happen with any of your relatives, but I remember my mom sometimes saying that she felt like doing the dishes was actually relaxing, which, to a teenager, I was just like, really? How is washing the dishes relaxing? And it's kind of funny. Now I understand what she means. And when I do it, I realize it's about the mindfulness about it. That you can let go of all that other stuff that your monkey mind might be getting a hold of you with. And I know sometimes actually doing housework for myself feels like I can make some headway in something because I can see the result, right? You see that clean, whatever it is that you did, whether it's the dishes, your bathroom, the laundry. There's a finished product, and there's that sense of accomplishment and being proud of the work and the job that you did. So I'm just going to talk to you about, that your chores can be an exercise in mindfulness and can, in some ways, be a stress reliever or a way of looking at the chores that you need to do that maybe you don't like doing, whether it's vacuuming or dusting or, whatever it should be, but that you can introduce some mindfulness into it, that it then becomes a practice and almost a meditation where you might actually find some relief in your stress and anxiety, not to mention know that you can check that off your list of things to be done. So, how do you bring mindfulness to your everyday chores? Well, let's take the dishes, for example. And yeah, when you're looking at them and noting, I mean, that's part of mindfulness is noting what it is that you're feeling and thinking at the moment. So I know, I'm just going to take myself as an example. I know sometimes I get irritated with the way people put things into the sink and whether they've rinsed them off or not, or how they stack them, or throw things, just nilly willy all over the place. And then I've got to undo everything to get down to stuff. Or if you pull one thing out, something might break, right? So I become kind of aware of what it is that I'm thinking and going, isn't that interesting? Because that's a whole bunch of judgment right there, right? And it's a whole bunch of like how it should be done, or why isn't it done this way, or why can't they think or be mindful of how they threw their stuff in there, or why couldn't they, you know, scrub that plate or rinse it off, or etc., what have you, right? So even just noticing what you're thinking about what you're doing and about the other people tied to it kind of brings a little bit of awareness there. So I kind of get over that, and I remember how it would feel to be judged myself about things I did. So that is a part of, I guess, forgiving myself and also being accepting of that. Not everybody's going to think about how to put the dishes in the dish, just into the sink to get washed, right? And it's for me to get over, it's not them. So there's an example right there of just that bringing mindfulness of what it is that you're thinking. Sometimes I can just get pissed about how many dishes there are and think, well, maybe I should just put them all in the dishwasher. But I find too, I've found, like I said about with my mom saying it becomes relaxing after I get everything in there and get the water going, is just kind of being in that moment, because that's part of mindfulness is being in the present moment. So I'm with the water and listening to the water and getting the temperature and making note of that, adding the soap and watching the bubbles and maybe playing with them a little bit, right? But then getting the dishes in there and, you know, wiping them down and scrubbing them and cleaning them, you know, rinsing them off. And if you think about it, that's like a lot of the stuff that we have to do with ourselves in our mind is almost like getting all of that smudge and the residue and what was left over from what we were doing that's still on there, the sticky nasty stuff, right? And just washing it away to be nice and new and clean again, right? And putting those all aside. And after I do it and wipe down the counter and the sink itself and kind of stepping back and looking, there is that sense of accomplishment and there's a sense of wow. So even while you're washing it too, you could be breathing. So I find that a lot more with vacuuming, making a pattern too and going back and forth. And again, being mindful of what I'm thinking. And I don't know if you've ever done this. I mean, we've talked about gratitude, but when you start to think about the fact that, hey, I'm really thankful that I have this house that I have to clean, that I have a house that I get to clean, that I have a vacuum cleaner that works. I don't know about you, if you've ever lived in an apartment when you didn't have a vacuum cleaner, or when yours is on the fritz, right? And then I don't know if you've ever done that, but actually sweeping your carpet, right? So being even grateful for the things that you have, and that you get to clean this nice abode, that there's people who don't even have a house that they get to clean. So just, I guess, think about the breathing while you're doing it. Again, whether it's even folding the clothes, I've found that too, of just taking the clothes and, you know, looking at each and every one. And sometimes I'm being mindful too. I'm like, why do I keep this? I hardly wear it, or, it's pretty worn out. It's kind of time to get something. And, maybe I'm going to donate it. I donate all my clothes. I do not know why or how people can throw away clothes. I mean, there's so many people out there that need clothes. So whether you put it in a bin, or you drop it off at a church or a homeless shelter, please, please, please do pay forward your used clothes. It might not seem nice to you, but it'll be nice for somebody else. So, yeah, you can bring the mindfulness to any of your everyday chores. So try it. Breathing, being thankful for what it is that you do have, and that you actually get to clean it, fold it, wash it, dry it, iron it. I personally don't iron, but, just that whole act. And also what arises when you're thinking about the state of your house, and what you might be thinking of your other roommates, or people you live with. Um, so try it and see how it works. Let me know what you find, or if you already do that, or, if it changed how you thought about doing your everyday chores, and if using this technique's actually making it a little bit more enjoyable, right? Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a mindful Monday and a mindful rest of your week, and that you can be mindful with your chores. Please let me know how this worked for you, or if it didn't. Comment below. Please subscribe. Pass it on to somebody you think might help with. Could be your kids. Okay? Thanks so much, and take care. I'll see you next week. Cheers.